The following game has been rated E10+, which is short for everyone aged 10 and up by the ESRB for fantasy violence, and online interactions are not rated by the ESRB. So basically fantasy violence. That means anyone under the age of 10 should not be watching this video. You have been warned. Greetings and salutations. I am Outlier, and I bid you welcome to this channel. Joining me today is, of course, my usual co-hosts, Snowball and Wolf. And today we are returning back to Minecraft. Yes, it's the one with all the blocks. So the premise of Minecraft is a slightly undefined one. It is at its core a game about, well, building things with blocks. The entire world is made out of these three-dimensional cubes. And you are basically dumped into an open world to use these cubes to build whatever your heart imagines, or whatever your heart desires, I guess is the better saying. There is a slight story and objective path to it, and even a final endgame boss to fight, but none of that's actually critical to playing the game. In fact, in all the years that I've played Minecraft, I've not once bothered to even pursue attempting to take on the Ender Dragon, as the final boss is called, or any of the other in-game story paths that might occur. Occasionally I'll go exploring just to see what's out there, or to find some resources that I need that I don't have easy access to where I'm currently at, but other than that, I just basically build stuff. I've seen pictures of what other people can build, and it's impressive, and what I construct isn't as impressive, or even close to impressive as that, but it's mine, and I like it. For those who haven't seen the past couple episodes, I did find a spot that I wanted to build my new home at, and I'm still in the process of constructing it. I have played a little bit between last episode and now, but it wasn't much, and I'm pretty much right where I left off last episode, and we'll probably just continue on from there. And so this game is, of course, made by Thank you again. And that being said, let us begin. Alright, so here we are. This is this is my little squirrel hut, basically. It's where I have the character sleep, where he's protected. And now that it's morning again, at least, well, what passes for morning in this game. So let's have a quick look. Okay, let's not have a quick look around. Come on, over this way. You know you want to. course there's a drowned. Okay, so I'm guessing water no longer dulls the explosions. Good to know. Alright, so that's a problem, constantly recurring problem that I have. Enemies keep spawning in, well, one of my two bases. So one of my two, because as I mentioned in the introduction, I'm building my home. This is not the home. That's the home. I call it Nimbus, city above the clouds. This is just a quarry that I am building and maintaining to get the stone to build Nimbus, city above the clouds. Yes. Yes, I must say the full title every time. Now, I could just spend the entire video continuing to build Nimbus, and in fact, I do have 8 more units of stone, oh look, a fox, to continue that process, but it's just basically me walking up a massive ladder that's attached to a large tower of dirt blocks, walking along another long pathway of dirt blocks, getting to the square, and then just filling with stone. Probably not the most impressive thing that you'd ever see. In fact, I'm fairly certain it's one of the least impressive things you'd ever see on a Minecraft video. So, my plan for this video is to build the quarry. Now, in between episodes, I did finish the first layer, or at least the first floor, I should say. I finished it completely with spruce blocks, or spruce wood blocks. I did technically continue some clear cutting, I believe, over in... Well, it doesn't matter where I was clear cutting, I was clear cutting it. I did set up some more spruce saplings, so that way I don't have to travel hither and yon and strip another hill completely of wood. I also have the oak tree mine right here. Yes, I call it a mine. Is it the same fox or a different fox? Hey, there's also a trader running around. There he is. Also have more sweet berries, I think they're called, growing. Basically, it's just more berries from the prior berries that bushes that I've planted. Just trying to see if there's multiple foxes. Those guys apparently get around quite a bit. What was I doing? Oh yes, mining. Well, I could build the walls for the quarry out of dirt, or, well, sand's probably a bad means of building material, especially for roofs. But while I could build the walls out of dirt, I've probably collected quite a bit of dirt. Dirt's easy to destroy, and Endermen like stealing it, so that really leaves the only other two resources available to me in either stone or wood, and stone I'm using to build Nimbus, city above the clouds. So that just leaves me with wood, and I like building the floors of the quarry in various layers, so I'll have like 1 or 2 layers of one type of wood, well, 1 or 2 floors of one type of wood, I should say, in this case currently spruce. As I dig deeper and I change the various floors' purposes in quarry, yes, that's the primary purpose of a quarry. However, in the past, I've actually taken to building the quarry into a city of itself. And so I'll have certain levels for residential places, other levels for manufacturing and crop growing, and so forth and so on. And each one of those sections is defined by a new type of wood used for the floor and
scaffolding, and well, not scaffolding, but the floors and safety fences, all that fun stuff. Because right now the only real two main types of wood I have access to are spruce, which grows pretty much everywhere, and oak, which I picked up a bunch of saplings on the way to here and used them to, well, grow this monstrosity. I think I also have a few birch saplings that I can use. And by few, I mean one. And birch, for some reason, for the last dozen or so updates, it doesn't really grow all that well in terms of you plant a sapling, it grows into a tree, you chop it down, and then you get more saplings. I don't get as many saplings off of the birch trees as I used to, and much like oak, they would actually start growing right on top of each other, preventing much leaf blocks to grow, which are what get you the saplings when you chop down the tree. So basically, for what I like to call tree mining, you just basically take your massive block of trees and just chop all the way up to the top of it, like so. And after that, you just simply chop all the way around it, slowly working your way back down. And that is how I tree mine. Basic tutorial over.
there is no advanced tutorial.
It's just this for 30 minutes to an hour. Always pack extra tools in case you run out. Well, in case your original tool breaks. One thing about oak trees is that they do sometimes grow outwards as opposed to up. So it can get slightly complicated, especially when you get one with a whole bunch of branches. So you end up with chunks of leaves around wood blocks. And you only really need one wood block attached to a bunch of leaves in order for the leaves to maintain themselves. So you could actually miss an entire wood block and not know it until you chop everything down, and all but like this patch of leaves just simply floats in the sky. And as I said, once you strip out one layer, you just simply keep working your way down and around. Now, ideally, the oak tree mine would be multiple groups of 8 surrounded by a torch, but I didn't have enough saplings originally to do that. Plus, not all the saplings decided to grow, for reasons not fully shared with me. I see there's some right there. There's a few more. And once you're clearing out all the wood blocks, you just simply wait for the... Where'd this torch come from? You simply wait for all the leaves to die out, and then you can see where exactly you missed. And since the sun is now setting, we should probably call it a night.
No, not that kind of night.
Video's just beginning, it's not over yet. Alright, so I have a little over, well, almost 1.5 stacks of oak wood from, well, that small little amount of trees that I had mined. So that's actually more than I actually expected. It's probably not going to be enough to completely surround the quarry, but it'll be a good enough start. And unlike birch trees, the oak trees generally do drop quite a few saplings, so I should hopefully have enough saplings to plant more. In fact, I actually already do. I currently have 15, and since there are 4 old trees, well now 16, 4 old trees that didn't grow, I technically have enough for more than 2 whole groupings of this. So yeah, as you saw before, the original tree grouping ended here, and I pretty much just doubled it, and there's still quite a few leaves left, so... What was that? Well, he's not invisible, so it probably wasn't a threat. What if it's just the fox eating the berries? I read online that they enjoy eating those kinds of berries. That sounds like a spider. There's another axe breaks. Now, unlike oak trees, I don't believe spruce grows in the same manner. Why am I constantly hearing enemies? That's a wolf. Apparently it's fighting the fox. Okay then, wasn't my wolf. And I don't have enough spare bones to tame it, so to make it stop fighting the fox. Alright, so now that those are out of the way, more of the sapling should grow. Yeah, there's 2 foxes now. Make that 3 foxes. This place just loves spawning foxes. No threat to me, so... no, I won't stop them. Now, it does take quite a few days for all the oak trees to grow, so don't expect everything to just simply grow back within like a day. Game time. Of course, as I say that, more trees actually do sprout, so... I'm not talking like 1 or 2 trees, I mean like all of them. Even then, as you saw before, not all the trees actually bother to grow. Of course, you do also get apples from the oak trees, so it's one way to gather food. Thinking that might actually be it for the wood blocks. I am seeing the leaves start to disappear, so... we'll see what that gets us. Plus that, I now have enough saplings to actually complete the, that's an enderman. The entire tree mine. Now all I gotta do is wait for the whole thing to actually grow. In the meantime, let's start building. So as much as I would probably enjoy using the actual logs to make things, I would probably be more economical to use the planks. So we'll just clear out this thing. I'm cutting underneath the dirt because I want the wood to be connected to the floor without dirt in between it, because I'm crazy like that. And I'm actually out of shovels now. I didn't stop to count how many shovels I just made, but I'm assuming it's quite a lot. Yeah, I made 6. Yeah, I'll use them all up eventually. One thing we should always try to account for is a door. And if we plan on putting the door right smack in the middle, like what I normally do, I discovered that I'm actually off. So, that there. I must admit, usually I like building the quarry on a generally flat surface, so I'm not usually dealing with these half hills that I didn't completely remove. But then again, I don't believe I often build in a hilly kind of biome, at least not this type of structure. That, or what I do build ends up being mostly underground anyway, so it doesn't really matter what the top looks like. And night has fallen, so we should probably go back to bed. And it's sleepy time. So what's on fire? But I think that was actually just a torch. Alright, now I do like incorporating windows into my buildings. And I like having them basically be every other block at head height, so... Said every other block. Oh no, that's interesting. And that is why. I was off a block and I didn't realize it. So everywhere I'd put the oak planks, was where a window was supposed to be. Alright, so another door is supposed to be right here, as is, well, right over there, and there's technically a hill in the way, so probably not the best standpoint from a tactical perspective, per se. But we're just gonna go around to put another layer on. And these will eventually be wooden planks anyway, but for now I like having everything even. Plus, it's what I'm going to be walking on, so if I put, like, we'll say one on top of here, my plan is to remove it until I move on to the next layer. Yeah, that's pretty much how you build, well, how I pretty much build anything in Minecraft. You just do it one layer at a time, or one side at a time, or one building at a time, or you just wing it because you have no idea what you're doing because it's something completely new that you've never built before. And so then after that layer, that's the third layer is where I usually put torches to light the inside and technically outside. Then the layer above that is usually the next floor up or usually the roof, but because there's hills in the way, my plan is to find the, well, I guess tallest portion of the surround what would eventually be the wall, build 4 blocks up from that, and then just, well, even everything out. And that's probably what I should have done from the beginning. But this side has the most easy access, so I wanted to build up here, so less chance of things just wandering in. Of course, now I guess that fox is technically stuck, although he can get out through that way still. Plus, I'm now technically out of wood blocks, so. Alright, so if this is going to be the new floor. Told you I'd burn through all these shovels. I haven't yet, but I probably eventually will. Only a matter of time. Now I'm technically out of oak wood. But the floor will be right here, and then another retaining wall, another lower portion of wall, then a window wall, and then torch layer. I guess I should call them layers. So basically floor layer, and then above that would be another lower wall layer, and then above that would be another window layer, and then another torch layer, and then another floor layer, which would probably eventually be the roof. But as I said, I'm out of oak blocks, so that's going to be put on pause until more oak trees grow. Though I guess I could technically use spruce. Again, I just simply have quite a bit of that, and I probably should have. That's a creeper. Creeper didn't notice me, and for that I am probably thankful. As he starts walking back this way. Now, one thing I should also do is build a door.
Yeah, I don't know why I did all of that. I'm just gonna basically go back around through and I'll just do this.
Well, I do need I should probably build a door, and I like having oak doors because they have a large window you can see through, which not all the other types of trees do. Well, wooden doors do. And since I don't believe I'm anywhere near an actual, like, oak patch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chop down just this one tree. I do have enough spare saplings, I can just replace the sapling. So where are the doors? And there we have, well, technically 3 doors. So we'll put one there. See, nice big window you can see out of, so you can tell if somebody's right outside that you don't want to be outside. And we'll just use the last of the oak blocks that I have to basically further barricade that area in. And now the moon is rising, so now we gotta go to bed. That or work through the night, which can be dangerous in an unsecured area. And now it's morning. Doesn't look like anything spawned inside. Some stuff spawned outside. That's not good. That arrow hit after the skeleton died. There's another skeleton out here. It's a cow, though. Till I can get a farm, they're my primary source of food. That and I guess these guys. Although the foxes, I'm told, like eating these guys, so. Kill off those spiders because I need their parts. Specifically the webbing. String. What is it called? String. Needed for making bows and fishing rods and various other things. So, just empty out my inventory of a bunch of stuff. Now, I do have a whole bunch of spruce planks I could technically use. Although that would mean that the walls would be mismatched in terms of coloring and like uniformity. So my options are to basically break all this back down and replace it with spruce, or wait until the oak trees grow and finish it in oak. Although that's just for the walls. No hard fast rule stating that I technically can't build the floor out of spruce planks. I'm going to need some way of getting up here, so 2, 3, 4. Where are my ladders? There they are. Okay, that did not go according to plan. But oh well. Nor did that, truth be told. That's definitely not where I wanted to put that. Alright, so if I measured this correctly, this line of wood should technically didn't realize I was caught on something. Meet up with here. Which it does. This is good. Although, thing is, the way I designed the quarry, this portion right here should technically be empty space. I should that there. Because these pillars, which I will eventually, once I have enough, completely line with torches, will go all the way from the roof of the structure all the way to the bottom. Just making certain everything's even. Technically didn't belong, but, well, for now it was useful. Alright, so that connects around there, and each one of these open areas will match one for the new floor. But the foxes are sad they can't actually wander around in here anymore. Oh well. Of course, that would assume that the game gives them emotions to begin with. Would also assume that even if the foxes did have emotions, they would care, and Slashor would not be able to get back in because they are one block in size and they can just simply crawl through the windows. At least the holes where the windows will eventually be, because I do like filling them up with glass. Eventually, yes. But for now, mostly because I don't have a large quantity of sand to turn into glass, they're just empty spaces for now. For some reason, I thought I could make that jump. As a torch in the way. And night has fallen once again. And one of these days I'm going to have to remember that I can't actually fall from that level of height and not take injury. But bedtime again. And there's a spider in here now. Was a spider in here. And as before, I am out of wood. So running low on axes. I say that as I got like 20 planks still left in my inventory. Fun times that. I do have some spare sticks. And plenty of more spruce wood. Okay then. So let's build some axes, because I will need more axes. And that's right above the door, where it should be. Okay, so these are now technically in the wrong place. There we go. And then we just simply fill in the floor. Although, who is this we that I speak of? There. Alright, so that's the central section of floor. Alright, so that further expands the outer floor. And I should now once again be out of spruce planks. Because something this size takes a ridiculously large amount of planks. On the plus side, I'm now high enough I can just simply walk over here and hop up to here to get access to my trees, as opposed to going out the door and walking around. Eventually, once I get all this built, I'll be able to safely place my bed in here, and I won't have to worry about the squirrel hut. Because I have to admit, it is a slight pain in the butt to stop what I'm doing, walk all the way over here, and then dig that out. Slightly, though. It's worth it in terms of utility. And I really should put torches down and around in this area. So that way things like that don't happen. I am glad that when they catch fire from the sun, they don't burn the wood. That would be ridiculously annoying. So I have no idea what I'm going to use the rotting flesh for, but keep picking it up. So much like the windows, I like having the torches, at least on the outer walls, go every other. And when I can, I either match it up with the windows or match it up with the blocks that aren't the windows. I do also prefer uniformity across, well, the entire building. At least as uniform as I can get them, given the fact there's still technically holes in the wall. And then for the pillars, it's, well, just straight down that way. I probably don't need torches in the spots facing each other. I'm also out of torches, but with my luck, that's still classified as a dark area, and monsters and mobs will still spawn in there. Alright, so do I have any coal to make more torches with? As the charcoal is used for powering all the furnaces. It does not look like it. Of course, there is some coal right here. here. I'm probably going to have to fill that back in with something, probably dirt, once I get enough of a stockpile of dirt. Literally every last stick I got. Even had to use a couple of my planks to do it, and I forgot about grabbing some dirt. There we are. So yeah, I probably should consider putting torches in here, because I don't know if the light shines around, if the torches being on this side count as lighting up these two spaces. If I see enemies spawn in there, then I will. Otherwise, I just don't have the torches to spare. I probably shouldn't technically be lining everything with torches. But it's how I normally do things, and I'm a stickler for such things, so everything gets torched. Yeah, everything gets torched. In case that didn't come through clear.
And no, I'm not going to light this whole thing on fire at this time anyway. But I can see where you can make that assumption.
Alright, so that should help with mobs not spawning in here. Should be in the optimal mode. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have marked where this technically ends. See what I should technically do. Really sunsetting again? Yeah, okay. So that way I'd know how far I need to go for these things. And back to bed. Alright, so I'm not seeing anything having spawned in, but then again, it could just as easily be a fact that I didn't give the game enough time to actually spawn in before switching it back to day. And I should probably just fill this whole area back in with dirt, so that way less incentive for the game to actually put something there on its own accord. Plus now the wall is universally sized. Fine, we'll just build it down this way. Alright, so now we're out of spruce planks again. And I could, again, just simply go and harvest more. A random feather. Okay. And I do have one spruce tree currently growing. Well, haven't grown. But I think that's kind of enough for quarry nowadays. I dug that section out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the stone out of the furnaces. Turn all the stone into stone bricks because it's technically easier to work with. And then we head off to the construction Nimbus, the city above the clouds construction site. And we'll just keep running around there. Just gonna head straight up, or at least as straight as I could possibly go. Through the cloud. Try not to fall off. Of course, if I do fall off, then, well, that's why I'm building this thing above the water. So it looks like I left off actually here. Thought it was over there, but no, that's just a cloud. Then we just keep building around and around and around. Like I said earlier in the episode, not exactly the most exciting gameplay available. But it's needed. Things don't get built if you don't first build them. I swear I thought the clouds were blowing that way. I guess not. Here goes a pickaxe. Alright, and that's all 8 things of stone. Just as the sun has set and things have started to spawn up here because it's now big and dark enough. I probably should have put torches down, but I did not, so of course I fully expected to get it all done, well, that shipment of stone done, before the sunset. I did not. But the world is full of crazy people with crazy ideas. Not all of them work. Whee! Okay, good. I was afraid I'd hit that sand. Yeah, this will not work. Yeah, I figured as much. Okay, so we just, make today into tomorrow. Take all this stuff back out and just grab my stuff back. What little there actually was. And Nimbus, city above the clouds, continues to be built. It was my second shipment of 8 units of 8 stacks of stone bricks, and it's 65 by 65, so the inside should be 64 by 64, which, if I do the math correctly, should be 8 shipments of 8 things of stone bricks. So I should technically be about a quarter of the way. I am building inwards, so as I proceed, the revolutions around and around should end up being smaller. Oh, weird, I thought I had more stuff than that. I guess not. So eventually I should technically finish this and move everything inside, so that way I don't have to worry about fighting hostile mobs at night. But to do that, I need more wood. And the wood is in the process of growing. Although I guess I could technically go out and just chop down the surrounding forest again. Also, I could continue working on Nimbus City Above the Clouds, and but that requires more stone, which I do not technically have in my possession. I have to go mine it, hence the quarry. So a lot of stuff to do. Most of it, most people would probably consider boring. But that's technically how I play Minecraft. So on that note, I shall call it here.
Everybody stay safe from the plague and have a good day.